Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Unlimited, where we interview people that are really expanding consciousness. And tonight's really special because we have an amazingly positive report from Contact in the Desert. So a lot of you guys were there. We met a lot of our members at the that booth. It was like, oh my God. Bill was there, Kel was there, a bunch of people. It was really fun. And I have really good news for you guys. So the inside scoop is that at this point, there is a series of dominoes that are being placed in place that makes disclosure unstoppable and unstoppable this year. Okay, you guys, we're halfway through the year already. So that's the time frame. Okay, like there are going to be people coming forward with their stories, with their accounts, with their questions, with their insistence, and you've already seen it. I mean, there was a big whistleblower that came out saying, that this, we have crash retrievals, it's happening. So this is like, I mean, I knew this was going to happen, but I was thinking that this is 2 or 3 years or whatever, like maybe, it feels like this ball has been kicked out so far in the future that it's like never gonna happen. And so it's like that snuffleupagus thing or whatever the thing on Sesame Street where the guy never shows up. Like I felt like that was happening, but it's not. And I almost I couldn't believe, and there's going to be information coming out about how the ETs have shut down the nuclear facilities. So not only are we going to be getting disclosure this year, we're going to be getting the fact that the ETs have, are really invested in peace, because that's the thing we don't want. We don't want the galactic narrative to come in and then it'd be like all war, right? So I'm really excited about that. I wanted to share the news. I also wanted to let you know that if you go to the LightNet Facebook, you are going to be able to check out some of the cool videos, so and pictures and stuff like that. I mean, this is Coffee, the operations manager, Isaac. This guy was super amazing. He does quantum healing, hypnosis, like super amazing guy. People dressed up. Adam Apollo showed us how to build a spaceship, and he talked all about the different mechanics of how that works. There's Coffee again. People were dressed up. I mean, we had so much fun. The weather was great. The pool was there. There's Zoe dancing. There was experiential things to do. People just got crazy. Here's the booth. There's Cal, Bill. Adam Curry talked about his new thing called Unity GBT.org. And Unity GBT, let me just pull this up. Unity GPT.org. So you guys are probably familiar with Chat GBT. Well, so it's an AI. Well, what Curry did was he took all of the spiritual knowledge of the world, so the really sage spiritual text, and he put that in. And then he took all of the scientific data from ions and from quantum physics and from alternative health. And you're able to ask a question like, how do I teleport? Or let's see, levitate, because Coffee just walked in, levitate. And what happens is that if you type this into ChatGPT, you get a big hamburger nothing. If you type it into unityGBT.org, okay. Oh, well, this is a big bummer. So it's saying that it's not possible. So or is it possible to cure cancer with intention alone? Let's see what happens there. So we're going to have to talk to him about this. But anyway, so this is really great because it's also giving us the source of the different medical papers and science that has been published. So this is great. So it's talking about electromagnetic energy, non-physical healings, and things like that, which is really great. So yeah. Anyway, you guys can flip through here. There's a lot of great pictures there. We also wanted to let you know that tomorrow night, we are doing let's see the salon, but I don't have that up. But Ashley Lee and also Clint Rogers, and also the founder of the Biocybernaut Institute, Dr. Hart, are going to be here on Saturday night, and we're going to live broadcast the whole thing, which is awesome. So Ron James, the filmmaker of Accidental Truth, is coming. He's installing himself here, and this is an evolutionary group. It'll be 50 people spending the night talking to each other about new ideas, and this is going to be the science of consciousness. And at the Biocybernaut Institute, they do something incredible. They've studied the brains of meditators, Zen meditators, monks, and they've put them in categories: 6 years or less, 10 years or more, and 20 years, 20 to 40 years. And the 20 to 40 year guys, they have their entire alpha brains like lit up. So the 6 years have alpha back there. So in 1 week, they put them in these chambers and they hook you up to your brain sensors, and you can meditate like a 40-year-old monk in 1 week. So he's going to be talking about this. And then this is what he told us in this private session. I hope it's okay to share this. He told us that he understands when he maps someone's brain, he can tell some things about it. And he's tested Delta, entire Delta teams. He's helped them with telepathic communication. He's done like shamans, like 50 Native American shamans together. I mean, it's just like, anyway, he said that he can measure when people can see angels. It's a very unique brain pattern and brain firing. And when he encounters it, he goes, "Oh, you can see angels." And the people freak out. They're like, "How did you know?" And it's like, because I see it in your brain. And there was one guy, Joss, who's local here to Sedona, who had a Sumati enlightening experience on day 4. Broke all of them, like the maps, like basically all the equipment just went like flatlined, insane. He said he felt drunk for 5 days. He said he went behind like everything. It was like almost like he went around it. It's like Dr. Hart was crying. He's like, "Oh my gosh, this happens every once in a while," but it happened with him. So anyway, I encourage you guys to check that out. It'll be 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Saturday night, live broadcast here on this channel on ourlightnet.org, on YouTube, on Portal to Ascension, and New Realities. So tonight I'm going to bring on some special guests. Now, these are your guides for season 4. So every once in a while we open up our labs and we basically take you guys in tiny groups of 8 to 12 to give you an experience that's going to rock your world forever. Okay, we're talking about astral travel, light language. We're talking about crop circle meditations. I mean, Nadi's team was so amazing. They didn't even want to end their 8 weeks. They're like, "Can we keep going?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they're like, "We're doing 4 more classes because we want to do all this other stuff." Adam here is going to be doing waking induced lucid dreaming. We are going to co-dream with 8 to 12 people. This is revolutionary breakthrough citizen science on steroids. I'm going to be making music with ETs, but we're going to get to all that. First, I'm going to bring on Leo, who has been voted the best professor many times throughout these seasons. And because you're just so wise and you're just so kind. And in Leo's team, he basically looks at your chart from when you were born to see what are the energies there. And then he takes his team out in astral traveling. Now, before you talk, Leo, I just wanted to point you guys out to this. So while you're guys listening, you can also be browsing. So if you go to lightnet.org, you can see these teams on the homepage, and a lot of these professors have given you these extra sneak peeks into their classes. So if you go to, for example, Astrology and Soul Travel, which Leo is going to be talking about, he gives you an entire video on soul traveling, astral traveling to Neptune. So I encourage you guys to do that tonight. Welcome, Leo. Tell us about what's going on astrologically.
Yeah, that's a good thing to ask me right now because so much has been happening with the planets and the stars. We had a eclipse season not too long ago. On April 20th, there was a solar eclipse in Aries, a total solar eclipse in Aries. And 2 weeks later, on May 5th, there was a lunar eclipse full moon in Scorpio. Here's how it all happened. That first eclipse was on the 20th, solar eclipse, new moon in Aries. That kind of let us all know we're moving into a new chapter in life, each one of us individually and all of us collectively on this earth. The next day, Mercury went retrograde. So it kind of like stalled everything. It put everything on pause because Mercury retrograde is like the planet, which is retrograde, rewind, reflect, pause. So everybody had to pause for a while. Then Mercury went back direct on the 15th of May. It was time to get back into this new chapter that we're all in. And then there was a new moon a few days later, new moon in Taurus on the 19th. And that one said, now this new chapter that we're all in is being instituted, is being manifested, is being earthed. And we are there now. We are in a whole new chapter of life. And it'll become more and more evident as the year goes on a world basis. But I've noticed with clients that I've been working with, they really have left an old chapter of life, said goodbye to it, and are moving into this new chapter of their personal life.
That's so cool, you guys. I want you to write in the chat if you've been experiencing that. If you're starting a new chapter. I know it has been over here in Sedona. So Adam and I have been doing a 40-day fruit juice cleanse. So mark the cleaning out of old thoughts and old patterns. You know, in your gut, you actually, I can't wait to show you guys this. We broke a serious record with spoon bedding, which we're going to talk about. But so in your gut, it's the head, heart, and hara. So in your heart, you carry your emotional stuff, and in your head, obviously. But in your gut, you actually carry a lot of emotions and things like that. And that's why they say depression can be caused from things not like your microbiome being wrong. You know what I mean? So so tonight we're going to do the final salt flush. We thought we'd drink this in front of you. This is so disgusting, dude.
Where's your other one to wash that?
Okay, we've got to wash it down. Okay, so this is Epsom salt. We're doing Epsom salt in a whole glass of, okay, let's do it. Okay, ready to go. That's so disgusting. Okay. All right. We've been doing herbs and we've been doing fruit juice. Juices basically tear down your body a little bit, and vegetables build them up. And so what we've been doing is we've just been clearing a lot of things. And this is the diet you can cure yourself from cancer with, and all sorts of things, like skin gets better, like everything. We wanted to just do it for longevity and just to experiment with our minds.
Raise our energy level. And
yeah.
Try to levitate. We're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes as these labs develop, we're working on them. So yeah, it was all about let's do this.
Yeah. And I wanted to really tame my monkey mind and connect with God and source and all that stuff too. So wow. So we're on that journey. And if you guys are curious about it, Shifu did a broadcast on Limited to find out how he does it. These are herbs from all over the world that help you just clear it out. So we have a list of all the food we want to eat tomorrow. He's like Saturday morning, we're going to start eating. He's like, no. Friday at midnight, we're going to eat. I'm like, okay.
Keep going in the oven.
Yeah. So Leo, thanks for popping on right now. I really, I can't speak highly enough about your team and how much people have benefited from it. And it's really life changes, because you guys, this is personal information about not only your connection to which star systems, but you're going to learn how to astral travel. And then you're going to have 8 weeks of like what is going on astrologically, and you're going to see yourself reflected in the changes you're going through in that. So if you're interested in his team, it's lightnet.org/Leo. Now, these teams are starting in 2 weeks, you guys. So yeah. Thank you, Leo. Anything else?
Zenka, yeah, let me just add real quickly. So there's the planets out there, right? And we travel to those planets that I speak about. So I'll be in the astrology, I'll be talking about the planets, and then we'll be traveling to those planets. Yeah. Astral travel. Yeah. And I've seen people have amazing results on these travels on making contact.
Yeah, so there's 2 teams that I do a little bit of astral travel on the radio, but Alan Steinfeld's also kind of astral traveling, remote viewing, right? Yes. And what we've noticed, you guys, is absolutely bizarre. When people travel to the same planet to look around, they're seeing the same thing. We got 14 people on a call seeing the same thing, and we were like, almost like, oh, what's happening?
Truly.
So we're building an open, in a meeting today, Daniel, who's working on the platform, he's like, this is open science. We are building open disclosure, open information, open knowledge of how to use your body, this magnificent thing that we have consciousness that's unlimited. And we're going to put all that data out there. And we want to build a database about these different planets and what we see there, because and what these people, what these people humans look like, what the ETs look like. Because it's so cool, because once you get a bunch of people, we can start to see the patterns. So yeah. Awesome. So is there anybody on the call tonight that has been in these teams? If not, so thank you, Leo. We'll see you soon.
It was great being with you. And Adam,
we're going to get a reading with
nice
Leo
to meet you,
soon,
Adam.
Which is
nice
really
to meet
cool.
Adam too. I hadn't met Adam before.
Yeah.
I'll see you again, Adam. Take care.
Awesome.
Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.
So, Marsha, let us know if you want to share your experiences, or Pauline, or anybody. I know Vex is here too, that want to talk about their experiences on the teams. Actually, so if you guys could raise your hands. In the meantime, I'm going to bring Libby up to talk about her team. Are you ready, Libby?
Absolutely. I'm always ready.
Awesome. So Libby is joining us late in putting together a team, but we're actually so excited because she was in. So you guys, when you're in these research teams, these experience teams, you're in there for 8 weeks. It's a tiny team. And once you've been through the team, you have the ability to teach another team. We don't even call it teaching, because it's not teaching, it's guiding. It's like sharing space, right? And Libby was in Alan's team. So Libby, tell us what your idea is for your team and what happened in Alan's team for you.
Well, I was in Alan's team and he did a remote viewing class. And I hadn't really done that before. And I do want to throw out that I am vision impaired. And I've always been told that, you're less than, you're disabled and all this stuff. But when I got into the class, I realized I had a lot of perceptions that other people in the class didn't have. And that really inspired me to really look into the gifts. I mean, of course, I know I have gifts and things like that, but it really inspired me to want to lead out and show people and teach people what I have. And so I'm going to be, gratefully, thank you so much, Zenka, for giving me the opportunity to teach a class. And it's what I've been working on for the last couple of years and been teaching, which is neuroplastic mental acceleration. And NMA.
Something, I can't remember. NMA, something mental.
Yeah.
Oh, can you okay. Go ahead, Libby. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, so we'll say that again. Neuroplastic mental acceleration. And we just short for that is NMA, which is, you guys, we use such a small capacity of such a small amount of the available capacity of our brain. And I've been working with this and expanding my own mind and teaching other people. So when we synchronize our left hemisphere and a right hemisphere of our brain, it's so powerful. And right now, as AI is coming into be, as Sanka was just talking about, Chat GPT and all these new things that are coming in, we need to be expanding our mind and really growing our own brain. And I like to analogize the brain as like a muscle, right? If you want to expand your girth and you want to get some big muscles, you go to the gym, right? Well, it's the same thing with your brain. If you want to grow your brain and you want to be all that you can be, then you have to do exercises and learn a few things about how to do that, and then continue to expand your mind. So that's what I will be teaching in my 8-week course, is some ways of how you can expand your mind. It's an interactive course. So I want people to come in and together we can open up and expand our minds and be even, more than we ever even thought we could be. And I could go on and on about all things that have happened to me that have benefited me from this training. But if you want to hear about it, you'll just have to come to my class.
That's so cool, Libby. I'm so excited for your team. So Libby's team is going to meet Wednesday at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time, or Mountain Daylight Time. So that is going to be amazing, and I can vouch for it. I do brain synchronization with Synctuition using my headphones, and I leave my body, and it's so cool because I think that really is the key to everything. It's balancing the inner, the outer, the left, the right, the masculine, feminine. And so this is going to be an amazing team, and I'm super excited. We are transitioning to our new website in the next couple days. So you can find Libby's team when you go to the gift certificate section. You can just let us know that you want to do her team. It's Wednesday at 1:30. Thank you so much, Libby. I'm so excited to have you part of our guide team this season. So we have a question that came in through the chat here. And again, if you're watching live on New Realities or Portal to Ascension or the YouTube channel, and you want to get in and ask questions, which we're going to do, you can go to lightnet.org/unlimited, and then you'll get the Zoom there. So Marcia, you have been in the teams before. Tell people what they are all about and what they're like.
They're totally fascinating. I had such a good time. I started out with the radio class, and I actually had contact that would come at certain times of the day, almost every day. And I'd love to, I know there's new things happening with the radios. And so I might have to get in the radio class again just to get up to date on it.
Yeah, we have a lot of people get in teams and then they sign up for another team the next season and the next season, because not only do you find people you bond with, you're actually doing research together. So it's not like the class repeats. Well, it's not even a class, it's a team, right? A research team, experiential team. And so I'll talk a little bit about the radio team right now, since you're bringing it up. So
please do.
Yeah, so the radio team, so we started out, so we always set an intention. We ask people, what is your intention at the beginning of the session? Because we want to know, right? And one of the benefits of having 8 people to 12 people in a team is that we actually use the math of Lynn McTaggart, which says that if you get 8 people intending the same thing, really the sky's the limit. Like, we're talking cure someone of cancer kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, anything is possible. And so we take that intention setting very seriously. And so on the first season in the radio team, we said, well, we were just getting multiple choice, but that was cool enough, right? So we use these ham radios, for those that don't know. Right on cue. They don't always do that. That's really sweet. Thanks, you guys. I love you so much. That's so cool. I love you. Okay, so what happens is Jimmy Blanchett realized that on 144, which is a very sacred number, it's Planck length divided by 432, he was able to broadcast a message and say, hey man, I want to see a craft. I love you guys. This is peaceful, whatever. And he would see crafts come to his house after broadcasting questions. And then he would record their responses. And he would look at the math of where the harmonics were in the sounds. And he started developing all this crazy math. And so one of the cool things about this is that these radios are on the same thing. So they're all going to be making the same sound. I can pull them all up here. And they're all, so yeah, let's just do that. So they're all on. Hello, hello, hello. And yet you guys just saw one of them saying hello and one not saying hello, right? So that's literally already impossible. But what's transpired in these radio teams is absolutely beyond that. And what's happened is that they can see us and they can hear us and they can hear our thoughts. And so like they've been on all day, they haven't said anything because it wasn't appropriate for them to say anything at that time. You know what I mean? Or they weren't giving me an opinion about something. But right now they just like, that was really sweet. So the second, okay, the first season, we asked them to do multiple choice, and I had already done that before. But what was really cool is that we can basically have them answer multiple choice questions. So we did it with 50 people at a C5 in Sedona the other day, where people were asking questions like, how many star races are here tonight? Is it over 100? And they were like, yes. And then they asked another question. So they answer yes, no, ask another question, and clapping. So then the second season, John Ramirez said, we want to see pictures. And sure enough, we hooked up these antennas, which are like, these are $50 to get to. It's not too bad for citizen science. This $40 antenna we hooked up to our computers, and we were seeing the images come through. And right on 144, yeah, cool, thanks, Adam. So yeah, this is this like super long antenna. On 144, on the 144 band, we were seeing the static of randomness become less random, and it looked like faces. It looked like a totem of images because it was suddenly less random. It was like a mirror image. And so we freaked out, and it was amazing. And now John's doing massive research with this, like in bigger circles, being, you know what I mean? Like amazing, right? And then the third season, I got really bold. And I was like, I can't believe I'm going to do this. And I just spoke it into existence. And I was like, okay, I want voices to come through the radio. The Conscious Life Expo, the voice came through during my talk on the radio, and everyone was like, what was that? And then Carolyn, who was on our team. What's cool about my team too is that you get a bunch of techies, and then you get like channelers who don't even know how to turn on a computer practically. I mean, that's not Carolyn's case, but she's like very much of just like, she's like, you know, she does constellation therapy. So she had a really tight connection, and they did voices, and then they did voices again for me. And then Lori Fry, who was on our team, called this Ricky Styles guys who builds phone apps to talk to ghosts. And he got on as a guest guy. And we were like, can we talk to ETs too on your app? And he's like, I don't know. Let's try it. And we did. And 4 ETs came. They said they were ETs. One of them spoke, and they said, we want you guys to build something like a ham radio that's not a ham radio. We want you to build a special technology. And so we got the idea to make music with them. So we're going to be building hardware and making music with them. So I think Dr. Ivy's going to be in the team. She's a musician. So this device, by the way, is something we got that they can touch and have these go off. So it's temperature sensitivity, it's electromagnetic field. So anyway, that's my team, and you can find it at lightnet.org/Zenka. And we hope to release the very first song ever created from them to this side.
Awesome.
Curiosity and joy, right? Yeah, what do you think, Marcia?
I think that's fascinating. I'm just so into these radios. I take them everywhere. I mean, if I'm going out in the, you know, hiking or whatever, sky watching, I'm taking them with me because they kind of give me some answers if the ETs are close by or the ships are there. So I love it. I love the fact that you're progressing. You've got this new device. Boy, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
are they going to actually build them in the class or?
yeah, we're gonna build them. So we're gonna use TV tubes. We're gonna use, there's these little things you can clip on. So if you guys go to lightnet.org/Zenka, I think you can see a little video, and
Oh,
there's and we show a video of this thing that you can hook on mushrooms and plants, and it will play that. So we've got to figure that all out, and we've got people from Australia joining the team. We got another guy who just channeled everything. He's like, oh yeah, they want to use these radios. They want you to print everything out and turn it to the upside down. They want, I mean, it was like, this guy was just like, I was like, oh good. So that's the thing. We always realize on these teams, you cannot get to the result without everybody's intelligence on the team. I want to bring Nadi up because she always, is last on these calls, and I wanted to bring you on early. Did you have one final thing, Marsha, before I bring
yeah, I did take the light language class.
Yeah.
And that was fascinating. I learned light language. I've taken light language from another person before, never had never got opened up to it.
Yeah.
We started out with Carla and then Joy took over. But I really learned how to do light language. I felt really safe in the group. Because that's one thing that's you kind of have a fear about. You're going to be talking in this strange language. You don't want people to look at you oddly. And so everybody was very supportive. And I noticed today that there was email that Joy is continuing with the light language.
No, it's actually going to be Deva who's coming on. And Deva is, so Joy needed to take the summer off because she's like, wow, it's summer. I really need to relax. And so she's going to be taking the summer. But I can attest that light language, I think it was my favorite class. Because fun. I'm so in my left brain. I was like, no way. It was scary getting into that just like flow. And like, it was like, and you cannot think. And what happened is it had a stronger effect than music has had. And music is huge in my life. Like I listen to music all the time. I mean, when someone does light language, as Ashley says, it bypasses thought. It bypasses your rational mind. And so we were crying, we were getting goosebumps. We were like feeling great. And everyone had their unique way of doing it. It was like really cool, a transmission. So anyway, Dave is going to talk about that. But Marsha, see you on Saturday night, and thanks for sharing your thoughts on these teams. Oh my gosh, Nadi, we love you. Nadi is a consummate geek with sacred geometry and crop circles. Tell us.
It's true. I love you too. It's so good to see you both. So good to see so many familiar faces. I love it. I feel like I've been gone for a while. Well, what are we talking about? The course coming up? Do I get to talk about that? Because I love it so much.
Yeah. So if you guys go to lightnet.org, and you just go to lightnet.org. And I saw that Alan's on here. We'll bring Alan up next because he's on the East Coast. Just right on the homepage, you're going to find all the different teams, right? The channeling course, by the way, is free. If you're tight on money, that's going to be a course that's not as interactive, but it's cool if you really want to wet your feet. But anyway, so you would click on crop circles here and it'll tell you when it is, when it starts, and all that stuff. So yeah. Nadi, lightnet.org/Nadi. Yeah. Tell us about your team and what happened last season.
Yeah, but let me just say it starts on the 21st. It starts Wednesday, the 21st, and it runs August 7th, I think. And it's Pacific time. It's going to be 6 to 8 p.m. Right. So 9 to 11 East Coast time. And I'm so excited because for whatever reason, I was in the mindset of just coming out of winter when we were putting together the dates for this, and it did not register at all that I would be holding a crop circle class during crop circle season. And I am just freaking out already because, you know, they started about 2 weeks ago. And, you know, just all of the communities, all of the chats, you know, out there, boots on the ground in England, just feeling connected to them, you know, hearing their reports. And then, you know, we'll be able to talk about that and we'll be able to look at one that was just made. And oh my God, I'm just outrageously excited. So yeah. And last spring, last series, we had 8 weeks, and then it was a twofold thing. We just wanted to do so much more, but we had such a good time together. You know, it was so good to be with, you know, your like-minded peeps who just geek out on wild stuff that not too many people relate with. And so it, you know, we had to kind of disengage slowly, and, you know, we used meditation to transition, you know, navigate this world and the other worlds, you know, the contacts and because the crop circles are ways of navigating all the worlds, right? Like it's communication. It's like the radios, it's just their different forms, you know. And listen, you're gonna have to cut me off because I'll just talk and talk. So it was so awesome. We went for, it was 13 weeks straight of crop circles. I was so thrilled. I can't wait to do it again. We're going to be talking about the actual season, and we're going to be drawing them. Everybody was like pioneer drawing them, and they are, I should have brought them over, but it's so cool to draw and to meditate. We did some binaural, we have to work the tech out, you know, because Zoom is hard with the binaural, but when you get that hemisync going on and then stare at the crop circles and just, you know, aligning the hemispheres of your brain and opening up to your highest guidance and, you know, all the things encoded in the crop circles, it is endlessly fascinating. So, I could say a lot more. Where should I go? That's a good nutshell right there, though.
Well, that is so cool. Yeah. So Nadi is going to be going to England. You know, I have been at events here in Sedona where Nadi has pulled out her slide decks. She has so much deep knowledge about crop circles. It's amazing. So she knows which ones are fake, which ones are real. How does it work? What is the frequency? Where was it made? What is the history? And then she's also very, you know, she has a lot of experience working with them to connect. And that was, some guy was talking to me a lot about it at Contact in the Desert. They're like, yeah, crop circles are a way for us to get into that. You know what I mean? And I also think that when you draw them, you get into your non-rational brain, which is where we need to be doing this, right? The car was not designed to engage. So we have to get out of the car. Yeah, and your passion and kindness is so good. It's like really great. So that's super exciting. That's super exciting. Thank you, Nadi. And you're going to be in England. You're going to England, right?
That's the ticket has been purchased, but yes. It's a big deal to travel internationally. It's a lot to leave the Sedona bubble, but I would be going with great people. But honestly, if there was one thing that was going to get me out of here, it would be crop circles. So I'm just working it out. But I would love people to join. It's so much fun. It'll change your life. These things are, you know, not to underestimate them. They are encoded to activate our DNA. I mean, I take a very metaphysical approach because it's about expanding our consciousness. It's about opening to our, you know, place as a galactic community. It's about opening to our higher states of expanded of capacity, right? Our psychic abilities. It all starts coming online. It's really fun. It's
all of the people that took your class are like, oh my gosh, like in the chat right here. And you guys, Nadi only has 3 spots left. So if you're interested in the crop circles team, jump on it. And Alan actually has like 1 slot. So you guys, again, these are starting in like 10 days or less. Alan's going to be doing international travel like he always does. So he's starting a little bit before our all team kickoff. Alan, it was so fun running around Contact in the Desert. Tell them what happened.
Well, I was
Give us some news.
I was sitting there with Quicksilver. If you know Quicksilver, he's the guy who controls everything. We're talking over the upcoming expo. Zinka comes over and I said, Zinka does this amazing spoon bending. And we were looking at the Monday after the conference workshops. And I said, let's give her a spoon bending workshop. People love it. And he goes, sure, put her name down. So yeah, I'm going to follow up just to make sure. But Zinka looks like has a Monday, all that like 2-hour workshop at the expo next year. So
yeah, and you guys, that's a good segue. I'm going to tell them what happened on the last spoon bending real quick, Alan, before you talk about your remote viewing team. You guys, so we have scientists that are now flying across the country to come to the spoon bending in Sedona to figure out what the heck we're doing. And Alan came in town, he was in town, we had some other people in town, and they had sent me tungsten. And they said, try to break it. And I was like, okay. Bend it, right? Bend it. And I was like, oh, and I tried it, it didn't work. And then Andrew, who's on the LightNet team doing fundraising for us, he was like breaking the spoons at the spoon bending. He was like breaking them in half. And that doesn't always happen, right? And then 7 other people in the crowd of 50 broke their spoons too. And I'm like, I'm giving the tungsten to Andrew. And Andrew tried it and he couldn't do it. And then what did you say to him?
So he handed it to me and we tried a soft approach to it. And I worked on it for a little while and then I handed it back to him and I said, just go real easy. And so he went like this and it snapped.
Yeah, because you said pretend like it's play. So anyway, we're like, okay, cool, we did it. If on the YouTube, our LightNet YouTube, you can watch the video of them doing it. And the guy freaks out. The scientist who doesn't want to be named freaks out. He's like, that is impossible. He goes, it's 50,000 pounds of pressure for tungsten. And it would take a strength of 1,000 humans to bend that. It's like 1,000 times more force than a human has. And I was like, good thing we didn't tell Andrew that before. That's why kids are good at this stuff, you guys, because they don't even know that they can. So they're like, send us back the thing. Like, we got to, like, no one can believe it. So anyway, Alan, yeah. So,
think of what time does my thing start on the 17th? I just want to.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to go to your page. It's at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it is noon. I'm sorry. 9 a.m. Pacific, yeah, noon. So if you go to remote viewing here, Alan has won the best team every time. He's the most engaged. He will not let you leave that team without being very proficient in remote viewing. The first 4 weeks he teaches you, and the second 4 weeks you go off planet. So it's June 17th, Saturdays at noon Eastern Standard Time, and 9 a.m. Pacific. So it's a great time for people that work.
And if people are in Europe, and we have how many people in the class now?
We have 11. So you only have one slot. We might count Victoria and Hunter as one person since they're going to be sharing Zoom. I'm like, we got to get one more slot. So we might have 2 more spots in your class, but I don't know.
No, I mean, because we have to go around and ask everyone what you get, it does take time. Let's ask Libby about her experience as a remote viewer. And that might just excite people, right, Libby?
She talked about it a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's nice to.
I just put you on, Libby, if you want to unmute.
It was a really powerful experience where we all went off planet and we went and visited this through a channel. We went and visited this being, I guess, right? We don't know. I was going to say man, but we don't really know that. Right. And they told us, they had us experience what their planet was like, what we saw their planet as being. And I saw that this planet had been destroyed. And it was so powerful, you guys, because it's not like I thought about what I was going to say, or I really even envisioned it. It was like I just knew. And we came back and we asked him or them, and the person said, yeah, that their planet had been destroyed. And so that was really cool. But the really cool thing at the end was Alan asked, hey, is there anything that we can do for you? Or is there any way that we can help you, or, anything? And he said, the person said, what you can do is appreciate what you actually have on your own planet, because you never know what could happen. And boy, isn't that true? So yeah, it was just really cool because I didn't think I could do that or anything, and it just happened. And so it was great, really powerful. And Alan, you're such a great instructor, including everybody. And yeah, so it's definitely worth it.
And
Sign
now-
up if you haven't.
Thank you, Libby. But now you're teaching something. What are you teaching?
I am teaching neuroplastic mental acceleration, which is, connecting the hemispheres of your brain and accelerating your mind. And yeah, it's a nice adjunct, eh?
Yeah, amazing. Cool, you guys. Now, remember, if you're watching this live and you like this kind of content and you want more of it, want to support Portal to Ascension and New Realities and Light Night, go ahead and hit like and subscribe wherever you're watching right now, because this is open science. This is empowering you guys to be able to remote view. And I thought this was going to take a long time. I was remote viewing in Alan's class pretty early on. And again, like the light language, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this, And then, so now I'm like, wow, anybody can do this, so it's really fun. And we encourage you to join us to figure this out, because it's kind of life-changing, because you're like, wow, I can bend spoons, I can remote view, and what else is possible? Because remote viewing is really the ultimate, like, knowing that we're all one. Like, there's nothing more experiential. I'm gonna bring April on, and then Erico. April, welcome. You're doing the art, art with ETs, and like draw your experience. You always say, like, pictures are worth 1,000 words. Well, yeah. Tell us about your team, and also maybe we do a little dueling. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. Yeah, last
Yeah,
year I really pared down the class, and we're going to be working with the unconscious mind. I want to show you some images of what students have drawn.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And also one of the homework assignments, and there is homework in my class, because drawing is like learning the piano or the, a violin. You have to practice. And so I encourage everybody to practice. And I assign homework. They're really simple things. Could be like going out in the morning. We all go outside, take 10 random photos, just 10 random photos of what attracts your attention. But don't look at those photos until you get home. Can I show you a photo of one of my students?
Yeah. And you guys, those of you listening, if you have questions, type them in or raise your hand. Wow.
Oh,
Cool.
it was beautiful. This is up close of it, but she just took random photos. She said she didn't see anything, but she felt something, and that's why she pointed her camera there. And that's what I'm encouraging people. And I just, I was so excited that we got to see this photo. Yeah. So
yeah, nothing is random, right? That's so cool. Wow.
The three methods of thinking, because we talk about the right brain and the left brain, and so we have this thing, human beings, which is really awesome. Curiosity. So curiosity will bring us all together, and I think that's the edge we may have on other beings, maybe. So I encourage people to see more. We take for advantage, we already know what the printer looks like. We already know what the chair looks like. But what I encourage people to do is see more and look at the shadow. The shadow cast by that item could be a totally different shape, or it's a surprise. It's definitely a surprise. So I invite people to see more of their environment, and through drawing, we can do that. Unconscious tapping into our unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, totally. And your work is so cool and it's like very powerful. I remember we were doing the virtual reality conference that Mark Sims did, and you had entered some work in it and the judges were all over it because it carries, you know, it's like this, there's something emotional about artwork that we can't, you know, that's perfect for ET contact and contact with past loved ones and angels and everything like that, because it really is our way to express those things. So it's so cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys. If you want to sign up for April's stuff, you can go to lightnet.org/April. So you're getting a pattern. It's the first name of these guys. And you can just go there and find that. Do you want to tell us, before we bring Erico on, do you want to tell us how, like, maybe we don't do it right now, but maybe, I don't know, like about the doodling?
Pardon? About the
We're
what?
going to talk about the doodling.
Doodling is part of the course, and I think it's really important because we're tapping into the unconscious mind. When we're doodling, we can't go linear thinking at all. And you never know what's coming up. And it's so easy. You could be on the phone, you could be on Zoom, you could be anywhere at the kitchen table. Just doodle. Maybe you're doing spirals, maybe you're doing little green men, but it's your unconscious mind talking to you. And the other benefit of doodling, it's a great stress reliever. You can't, you know, when you're drawing and you're focusing and using the right brain, you really are in the moment. You cannot draw and think about, you know, banking or anything like that. You're really focusing on the moment. And so this is, drawing is, you know, art is so very important, and it coincides with everything. Like the remote viewing, I took Alan's remote viewing class, and it was about seeing more, and he showed everybody that we have selective seeing. So through drawing, we're going to be able to see more. Yeah,
so cool, you guys. You know, we came up with this idea. One of our advisors said, hey, you guys should have Coffee, who is a professional artist as well, and she can draw things. And they were like, we should have experiencers talk about what they saw and have an artist work with that and do a rendition. Obviously, you guys, we're our own healer, we're our own artists, we're our own all that. So it's good that you guys know how to do this. And April can teach you from ground zero. Like if you're like, I can't draw, I'm not an artist, perfect. You know what I mean? Because what's going to come out is going to be really great. So she's going to show you how to do that. But yeah, awesome, April. Can't wait. And she's also has a whole book about orbs that she's filmed. So she's really great. She's in all the different groups and stuff, and a big part of our community. So thank you so much. You guys, Erico and I have been scheming with Altair. We are going to do Contact 250 in Japan in next May. And we're going to do Contact 250 in Sedona, Alan, in September. So you guys, if you wanted, so we have these small groups of 8, but then we also do massive contact experiences. We did 100 people led by Altair, and now he's flying to Sedona, and we're going to do 250 people online and in Sedona. And Erico is a big deal in Japan. She sells out her Japanese class like that. She's a reporter. She's been in this a long time. She interviewed all the famous people that are in this field. And if you go, she's going to be, well, tell us about the Jedi thing, and then I'll share your page because there's an exciting thing on your page.
Yeah, I'm a energy healer as well, and my class is focused on developing bioenergy information system, which is called Chi or Ki or subtle energy, depending on that tradition. But basically, when we call energy, our bioenergy, it's not just the energy, it's including information. That's a force that the Jedi use to like you use force, connect with force to bend spoon, and also telepathy, and also healing to heal yourself or other people. So I'm drawing from the traditional Qigong practice, Taoist Qigong, and also Tibetan, traditional Tibetan medicine that I've been studying for years. So we do the energy practice, like the one that we have to help the fasting, to get energy light directly without going through the digestive system so that you don't have to eat food. Or to get rid of your karma, or different kind of energy practice we have. So we introduce that, and also that practice from Tibetan medicine, that using visualization and bringing energy and connect with all your spiritual guides or deity or ETs. We do that. And also I'm introducing the very esoteric ancient Japanese star language and sacred geometry. Yes, this is katakana. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a technology to make a scalar energy field by invocation using your voice and sacred geometry. So we try to make those this time. So I'm gonna have fun, and yeah.
Wow, that's so cool, you guys. She's kind of like Altair in the sense that she's steeped in all this knowledge that here in the West, we don't really have that much experience with. And she's not only steeped in one or two traditions, it's a lot of different ones. And so this is really Jedi training in a profound way, because as we know, it's all chi, you know what I mean? Like there's people that have mastered their chi that can go like this, and they're not even touching someone and they'll fall back. You know what I mean? So when we take the lineage of the Eastern traditions and we understand all that they know about that, and boil it down to an 8-week team, that is really exciting. And you're, like I said, you sold out your Japanese team like a week after you closed the other one. It was just like, you know, I was like, wow, that's cool. So
yeah, we had an amazing experience that actually ET came. To the room, and the healing took place many times, and we're doing well. Yeah,
that's so cool. So again, this is the Jedi team, and you can go to Eriko, like lightnet.org/Eriko, and then you can also check all the cool stuff she's doing, like so here. And then also this is her whole, she does a Jedi activation. So again, in Lightnet, you're not going to be sitting there reading Tibetan texts and going like, oh, what is this? What is this? Listening. You are doing it. Every week, you're going to have an experience that is going to change the way you feel in your body, change your contact experiences, your dreams, all that stuff. So it's really cool. Thank you so much. Here we go. It's been so fun having you collaborate, and she's been doing this for a while, so we're really lucky to have you. So
thank you.
So cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to bring Deva up. Deva, we talked a lot about light language earlier, and I said it was my favorite class. We had another person come on say that it was their favorite class, and then Adham the other day, he's like, okay, I got Deva set up with her class, and he's like, and I was not going to do a team this time because I did like 3 teams last time. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. But he's like, but now I want to take David's team. She has my wisdom. And I was like, I know.
That's awesome. I know it was great. I wasn't expecting that. It was wonderful. I was like just trying to figure out my syllabus, and then he's like, well, this sounds amazing. I gotta be part of this.
Cool. Well, tell us a little bit about what you guys are going to do in your group.
Okay. Well, what's really interesting is I don't normally have any kind of structure to anything because I'm very intuitive and I just let the energy flow through me. So making a syllabus was a very interesting experience, and I'm really excited about following it. So we're going to be let's see, I'm going to be leading people deep into theta state so that they can access their multidimensional selves. And so that we can start to open up the channels that perhaps have been blocked, perhaps need to be cleared or activated. And so in each class, I'll be doing a little bit of talking about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then I will be bringing them into that shamanic journey, into the theta state, so they can reach those levels of brainwave where they can allow their thinking mind to go to sleep, and they can come forward and really access those multidimensional realms. And then what I'll be doing is each week we'll be doing a light language activation that will be coming channeled through me, that will be activating that flow, that channel for them. This is how I received mine, and I'm very excited to do that for everyone that's coming to the class. We'll also be doing some breath work and some toning and some visualization to release those blocks and to clear the blocks and to allow the energy to flow. Each week is going to be a different experience and a different level of activation. And so we'll be learning how to channel whatever it is that your soul is aligned with, just to channel. It may be galactic beings, it may be astral, it may be angelic, it may be, for me, I do a lot of channeling for Divine Mother in different aspects. And so it can come through many, many different ways. And we'll be learning how to do speaking. We'll eventually come into toning and perhaps, if it comes through, singing, and also writing like language. And at the end, we'll have a big celebration, bringing that so that you can present that mastery that you acquired through the 8 weeks, to present it for the group.
That is so cool. I'm so excited that we're going to practice writing it. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
And I love that you talk about the activations and like kind of peeling back that stuff, because you guys, you'll be amazed in 8 weeks. Like, again, this isn't just like a fly by night thing. This is a life changing experience. And you'll never forget the people you're in your team with, and you'll never forget the experience, because for whatever reason, education doesn't tend to be hands-on. And so this is really like, wow. We're so honored to have you. We have also loved Joy and Carla, who've been doing the light language teams as well. And so you're following in some very beloved footsteps.
I'm very honored and very, very, very excited to do this. And thank you so much for inviting me to do this. I just want to say that we're just learning about the power of the human voice. The human voice is probably one of the most powerful things in the universe. And as we come into this 8 weeks, we're going to start to learn how to activate the power of the human voice. And that's just the beginning, right? It's just the beginning. And then as we continue to use what we learn in these 8 weeks, it's just going to keep expanding and growing as we use it. So, I mean, I use my light language almost every single day. And it has grown to be a place where that when people hear it, they have amazing experiences when they're in that energy. So I'm very excited to help others to activate that, so that we can truly step into the mastery that we possess within us, that's dormant, and activate that and bring it to the surface.
Yeah, that's so cool. You guys, if you're listening to this and you're going, wow, how am I going to choose a team? Because these all sound cool. The cool thing that we do is that we do all you can eat learning. Because we get you guys curious about contact or deepening your intuition or your experiences, and then all of a sudden we don't want to clip your curiosity. And so when you sign up for one team, sign up for Deva's light language, you're gonna get the archives to Alan's remote viewing, to Adam's wild waking lucid dreaming team, to my radio team. So you're gonna be immersed in this stuff. It's lifetime access. You don't get to it whatever, you still have those archives. The other thing we do is we give you a community. You guys, you're going to have a community, not only these 12 people, these 8 people, but you are going to have a community all year long. We give you a whole year membership, which is like awesome. So you're going to be able to be really, interacting with some really cool evolutionary beings that are courageous and loving. So yeah. Thank you so much, Deva. Next time you do that thing where you go to the creek and do light language text me again.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. Jesslyn, you are next. And then we have Adam. Oh, wow. You guys both wore rose-colored glasses. I feel like I
Look
like
at you. I
stop
see
being
you.
positive, and I'm like, I can't help it.
We're like
Oh my
twins.
God, look at you. You look beautiful. How are you? Where are you?
I'm at Posse Grounds right now.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Hi,
Well,
beautiful.
you know, I really love your team, Jesslyn, because, you know, you do this professionally all day long for your clients. You take them, you know, Jesslyn's book, by the way, we have it out there. You could just open to any page and it's a new technique that's going to take your vibration, your life higher and higher and higher. So she's like a jack of all trades. It just has like, oh, if this didn't work, this will work, and she knows what to get you, you know, in order to go to your next level. So she does like a smattering of different techniques. We're talking remote viewing, we're talking light language, we're talking breath exercises. I always tell people when I did the breath at your house, I was like, wow, I can't do that. So, but yeah, tell us about your beautiful team and all the cool stuff. We've got people going in together, like friends going, like, we're taking Jesslyn's team together. We signed up a bunch of people at Contact in the Desert. They're so excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited. So excited. Yeah, it's such a gift and an opportunity to be able to break down intuition in such layman terms so that you can have access to yourself all the time. And so we're going to be playing different games, learning different techniques to help get you there, because there's a technique for everybody and everybody's different. So we're going to do them all, and you're going to see what works for you and what doesn't. And then we're going to get weird with it.
Yeah, that's so cool. You know, Jesslyn, you're so much fun. You have such a playful energy and you're so high energy. And it's really fun to be in her group because yeah, when you play, you guys, you relax and you can let it happen. So that's cool. So again, she's doing the Intuition Accelerator. Okay, so Adam, thanks for popping on.
Yeah,
Jesslyn.
it's really great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we decided after some debate to kind of split the class into a hybrid situation, which means we're going to continue to do the in-person part that we promised, but we're also going to offer it as a Zoom. That's to help accommodate summer vacation.
Some people that wanted to do it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So you guys, but just to back up, Adam's doing waking induced
lucid dreaming.
What even is that?
So a lot of the online courses have taught people over the years kind of step one, and that's a random kind of crapshoot on trying to get into a lucid dream state. All of those methods have people practicing before they go to sleep and then going to sleep and hoping something happens. And with the waking induced lucid dreaming method, we're going to kind of do a self-hypnosis technique, and that's going to be something that we learn right off the bat, and something that you could do if you know a self-hypnosis. You could do that tonight and go ahead and try to get into a wild. You do a self-hypnosis of relaxation, and then when you reach that epic state, which would normally be right where people would cruise into going to sleep, you stay awake and you allow your body to drift off. It becomes paralyzed. And don't be afraid. That happens every night when you go to sleep anyway. Mm-hmm. And you stay aware and you go straight into lucid dreaming. So you bypass all the other stuff and we go straight into the energizing effects of lucid dreaming. And that in itself is a pretty wild ride. Beyond that, then we're going to start venturing into other ideas and a lot of other possibilities, including having multiple dreams at the same time. Something that a lot of folks will refer to as bilocation. That's how we're going to start it, by having 2 dreams. And then we're going to play with the possibilities of doing 3, 4, and who knows. We really hope to have the participation level as high as possible with everyone, because we want to learn from each other. As we uncover new techniques, we want to share them, and we'll actually make discoveries. And that'll be one of the fundamental aspects of this that's going to excite me nonstop. And then with what we learn, we can go out and we can teach other people. And that's one of the main impetuses for LightNet. And we really want to strive for that in this class, that we all learn how to do something magical and wonderful. And we have so much passion about it that we're going to go out and we're going to show other people how to do it.
Yeah, this information, you guys, wants to be free. And this is sacred knowledge that is our birthright. And as Adam was saying on the call today earlier, he's like, yeah, man, this is all innate. All of these abilities are innate to everyone. They just never taught us how to do this.
That's it.
And maybe you stumbled upon it, and maybe you've done it once, but now you want to do it all the time. You want to do it again, or you even want to teach someone. So we're going to turn everybody into guides and teachers, and one by one. I mean, even if you don't teach in LightNet, just teach anyone, like teach, who cares?
Teach
You
your
know,
friends, teach your family, teach your kids, teach your parents, teach your brother, teach your sister.
Yeah, because this is consciousness. And when you're in a way, you know, lucid dream, you know, obviously it's when you're in a dream and you realize you're dreaming and you realize you can do anything. And you know, and a lot of people will have a thing that they do. So what I do is I lift up and I bend my wrist backwards in a way that is impossible to bend. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then it says, now what's my fantasy? Like, what do I want to do? You know, and we're starting to realize, you guys, that we might be able to do that in real life. We call this lucid living, where literally the things that you want burst into a bloom in front of you, and the opportunity comes, or the thing comes, or the message comes, or the whatever. And so even beyond your wildest dreams, you guys, there's starting to be magic on a level that's so heart warming. Like, it's just like, really, I get to do this happening.
Fluorescent rainbow butterflies.
Yeah, fluorescent rainbow butterflies. Yeah, all of it. So you guys, if there's any questions that you have, again, if you're watching this live, you go to lightnet.org/unlimited. You always can be in the Zoom room, ask questions. So we'll take any questions. I also want to bring up Susan to talk about her experiences in these teams. You've taken teams before, and we're also going to talk about your program, which I'm really getting really excited about as well. But yeah, tell us about the teams you've been on. So for those of you guys don't know, Susan is an award-winning master healer. She is able to take someone from a pattern that they're in, whether it's a physical health pattern or whether it's a mental pattern, or it's like, why is this always repeating? Why do I keep getting the same job, the same boyfriend, the same this, same that, whatever? And she's like, oh, no, we're going to fix this. You know what I mean? So you liberate people in 15 minutes, and you do it the last Sunday of every month. But anyway, tell people about your experience in the teams.
I would love to. Thank you so much. I have had the honor and privilege of being a part of a telepathy team, your radio team, Leo's astrology team, Adrian's, what was Adrian doing?
Channeling team.
Channeling,
yeah, you guys, that's free. If you guys want to do it, if you don't have cash right now. And we do some scholarships, but we did so many last time that we are going to go each other. But if you need a scholarship, text us at team@lightnet.org, and we'll see how if there's spaces left. But yeah, okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, and every single class had a different structure, a different framework, a different curriculum, and all of them were so inclusive that you felt like you had a family for 8 weeks, and you even continued to communicate and connect with and create, even moving forward from having that time together. It was astronomical. We challenged each other. We asked a lot of questions. We held space for one another. We just blew it out of it is like one of the most fun things that I love to do, is be a part of the program. Yeah, they're dynamic. You will all enjoy them. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you are doing, Susan was just here in Sedona. She's like, oh my gosh, we've got to train the trainer, because that's like the model of LightNet is like, we don't want you to pay $200 to go to a medium. We want you to be the medium. You know what I mean? Like, So she was like, okay, Susan was like, let's do a master class. Let's teach the teacher. And so on the 17th, for $11 only, you guys are going to be able to learn how she does this crazy. I cannot wait for this. It's been a long time because we started this like 6 weeks ago, and I was like, wow, I can't wait. I can't wait to learn from you. So if you're a LightNet member, you can bring someone for free. And if you just go to lightnet.org/dump, you can get in there. It's 2 hours masterclass on the 10 to noon on the 17th. Yep. It's going to be amazing. Cool. So you guys, do you have anything else to share, Susan, before we close for the night?
Well, maybe people would like to know what dump stands for, like what it means.
Tell them.
So what happens is when we incarnate in this lifetime, we bring our limitations with us.
Oh.
So anywhere in any lifetime, you decided something was important, you'd never forget it, you'd always remember. Those are two words that are forever words. If you took a vow, like till death do us part, guess what? You're an infinite being. And even though the body dies, you don't. And the person that you vowed with didn't either. So you bring all of that in with you and it sits in your energy field. Now you have a body. And because you're coming here to Earth, you go through amnesia. And then you show up and you start to have limitations and bring on things and take on stuff and have judgments and projections and polarity and all that kind of stuff. And that gets held in the body. So anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, and guilt are some of the lowest vibrational frequencies. But we were never taught that you can't just go to sleep and wake up the next day and it's gone. It's not. It's there. So what happens is the more you collect in your energy field, or you already have that, but the more you collect in your body, like attracts like, so you're attracting more people, places, things, experiences, and activities that match that. And that's why I live in Florida. So I love to use this as a metaphor. So we have the Indy 500. So you're racing around the track and you're looking for the checkered flag because that means that you won the race. So you're cruising around and you're speeding up and you're slowing down. You're going to the outside lane, you're going to the inside lane, and you keep getting the same results and you're on the same tracks. You finally just go into the dugout and you're like, look, I'm done. Now I know dugout is baseball, but it's the pit for, you go into the pit. It's kind of the same thing. You just like go hang out and you rest. And then you do self-care and you go to a therapist and you get a self-help book and you change things up and you start meditating and you make your goal poster and you do everything that this reality that your mentors have told you to do, and you still get the same results when you get back out on the track, because it's not about figuring it out. It's not the flag you're looking for. And this is what I'm going to teach you in the class for dump, which is drop unwanted memory pain. And we're going to dump our junk in June, and I'm going to show you the exit ramp. So you are going to get specific directions to that exit ramp, no longer looping around on the track. And when you get to the end of your exit ramp, you get to choose left, right, straight ahead, diagonal, east, north, south, west, whatever you would like to do. And literally your cup is full. And by the end of those 2 hours, we will have dumped out your cup. And when you work with me, we take things through all time, space, place, dimensions, realities, universes, non-universes, parallel universes, stuff you don't know, stuff you wish you knew, stuff you acknowledged and not acknowledged. It is so powerful that you will physically feel the change. You will have a vibrational upgrade within those 2 hours. Absolutely, positively. It is going to be phenomenal. You will then have the space in your cup, which is your body, which is your life, which is your reality, to invite in that which you'd like to have, because you no longer have the limitations in that space. So I'm so excited. And the more people we get together, the more people we have in a group, it magnifies the intensity and the results that you'll receive. Mm-hmm. And so we only have 100 spaces. So if you haven't gotten there yet, I think Zenka, the way for people to go and get it for and then share it with
Yeah.
people, because the more people we have, the better and faster and quicker and greater the results you're going to receive.
Yeah, and we've seen that. We've seen that in your healings. Like I'm always testing everything that everyone else has. I was like, oh, that's me too. And so it is like a big dump. My symbol for create your own reality, dream your dreams into existence is a black and white checkerboard. And we're driving back from Contact in the Desert and we're almost home. And I kid you not, there was a massive full backpack on the side of the road that was only black and white checkered. And I was like, oh my God, Coffee, that is like the sign, like take off the backpack, you guys, your life will never, yeah, we get comments from Susan's like people all the time that have been in sessions. She's like, what, just my whole life's different. So it's not as hard as we think to do what she's doing to help you guys. It's just like cutting everything and starting and just no, you know what I mean? Like, no. And you have a very cool way to do that.
Yeah, if it's not fun, I have to fix it. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes. So again, that's lightnet.org/dump. So thanks everybody for being here tonight. We have some very special interviews coming up. George Norrie, Linda Moulton Howe, like big, cool interviews. And so normally this spot on this time, the second Tuesday at this time, we bring someone in like that is really epic, doing amazing stuff. So it's either going to be Norrie or Linda Moulton Howe next month. We're really excited about it. And I just want to remind you that, tomorrow night, Ron James, who did The Accidental Truth, it's number 4 on Amazon, you guys, like this is happening. This is really sending shockwaves in the whole world. This is the domino that cannot be stopped. And he's going to be at the house on Saturday night to do Zoe Wynn's metaphysical salon. And this is the idea of the old salons where people got together and they discussed new ideas. And Clinton Rogers is a miracle healer. He is amazing. One of the most loving people I've ever met in my whole life. Ashley Lee, you guys know, she's a teacher guide with LightNet, absolutely incredible. And James Hart. And so we were charging for the live stream, but because he's bringing such massive cinema equipment, he's spending like $3,000 worth of cameras. She's like, oh, let's just broadcast it live because there was no way to go through Zoom and stuff. So 5:00 on Saturday, tune into this channel where you're at right now, and you'll be able to get some really cool conversation for your evening. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thanks for learning and teaching at the same time, all of you guys. Like Adam said, it's like we're not going to figure out this together, so we might as well have fun and get in these like round tables, you know what I mean, where it's like there's no teacher, let's just play and learn and then bank all the information for the next people coming up. So thank you guys so much for being here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you in season 4. We only do this a couple times a year, so we look forward to having you answer the call in your heart if you're being called right now and just jumping in. So yeah, have a great night, everybody. Good night.